Joel.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We are.
Two people evolving.
That's what we are. We're two people evolving. And for those of you that have been asking, where's the radio shows?
Where is the radio show?
Well, we kind of took a little break last year. We did a 2016 show, and then we didn't do any other radio shows together. But we're back. There's a lot we've been doing because we've been... What have we been doing?
We've been evolving.
We've been evolving.
That's for sure.
But we're coming back.
Busy.
We're going to do some shorter radio shows. We take on topics about consciousness and awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And?
Wow. And that feels like it's all loaded.
Evolving.
Consciousness and awakening. Oh, we're still evolving, aren't we?
We're evolving.
Yeah. Thank you for
So besides
that.
two people evolving, Joel's my evolutionary buddy.
Yeah, Jamie and I are.
Evolving
Yeah.
partner. But you know what? We need each other. So for those of you that don't have an audience, friendship, or support for your own evolution, here we are.
Yeah.
Two people evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, join us. We have our 2017 radio show coming up with the introduction about the energies of 2017. So
Beautiful.
Stay tuned. Coming up next.
Love it.
I can hardly wait to see what we do.
Me too. We
The
turn on
mic's
the
ready.
mic. Yeah, we turn
We're
on the
ready.
mic and we see what happens.
We're going.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Hi, Joel.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello, listeners.
Hi, listeners.
Welcome back, listeners. It is 2017. In fact, we've already had a... What was it? It was a solstice.
Yes.
Or was it an equinox?
Yeah.
No, it was an equinox.
Oh.
Some people say solstice, too. Listeners, what do you think? Anyway, we've just had that. We're getting close to Easter. So we're resurrecting up some radio shows here. That's what we're doing. We had a busy year last year with some private projects we were both working on. And here we are. It's time to move forward again. We are two people evolving.
Yes, we are. And if you want to go to our website, you still can.
www.twopeopleevolving.com.
twopeopleevolving.com.
In a world evolving with all of you. So thanks for listening.
Yes.
Wow. 2017.
And into the month of April already of that.
Into the month of April. Here we are. Joel, what have you been focusing on? What's been big for you this year?
Wow. Well, my main focus has been self-realization, really coming to the realization of who I really am, and actually self-realization and self-actualization and the balance between the two. Because I am on this planet, and I am still involved, so that jumps right into self-actualization.
Chop wood, carry water, and be a self-realized being.
Yeah. How about for you?
Yeah, me too. Listeners, that's why you haven't heard from us. We've been busy. Nothing like taking that one on. But that's what we're doing. It's a world evolving. We're all really into this grand collective awakening. Mm-hmm. And with this, so many of us are realizing we're so much more than the mental thoughts or the material world push or the world's programs and patterns or the matrix's desires.
Yeah, because we are actually previous to all of that.
Yes.
We are prior to it. We're involved with it, but we're actually prior to it and not attached to it. And that's how
Well, not always attached to it.
Okay. I love that little smile of yours.
Well, not always. Listeners, you get a little attached sometimes to things in this, quote, matrix or reality or our life. And that's interesting because here we are as human beings on this three-dimensional planet that's about material form.
Yeah.
While we are realizing we are a state of awareness that existed before that.
Yes.
And will exist after that.
Exactly. And while we're in it.
And while we're in it, that we're
aware of that too.
Awareness here.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you that meditate or have been on your own journeys of awakening and self-realization, these aren't new concepts for you. For anybody listening to the show, and we haven't lost you yet, our soul, our spiritual journey, as we have a journey as a soul and a physical body in this state of evolution and growth, as we balance out the love within our soul on a planet that seems to have gone mad.
Well, yes.
And then what's that about? Why are we here? Mm-hmm. What are we really here about? And that's what Joel and I talk about on these shows. We really are sort of what we call revolutionary evolutionists, where we don't just take our evolving lightly.
No, we don't.
We kind of
even though
have
we're
this,
lighthearted about it.
We are, and we've learned to be. We have spent plenty of years being very serious.
Yeah.
And being, incredible seekers and incredible, maybe even rebellious against the norm, or something that seemed really complicated or difficult or heady. I know I spent many years acquiring all this knowledge, the intellectual path. But that was my awakening of my head to more, and my knowingness that there was more. And then it made its journey to my heart. And then the self-realization, body honesty that I walk as one spirit-realized being, so that the cells of my body are congruent. I'm not running as many sabotaging tapes or plugging into the duality experience from fear. I'm bringing things congruent about how to be a spirit in a human body with form, with my infinite being in a body that's meeting its demise at some point.
Which it will.
Yeah, that's what this planet...
Is that a belief system?
Well, it may be. But I haven't known anybody to live on this planet as long as it birthed.
Right.
Which was, 26... Well, that's just civilizations anciently recorded 26,000 years back. But I just offended some people with that comment that think we're not any older than 5,000 years on this planet because of a pyramid. But
we don't have to be right about any of that.
We don't need to be right about anybody, anything, or anybody. There's evidence all over. What I find fascinating is one piece of evidence and information that reveals something, and there's thousands of pieces of evidence that reveal that same thing in their own ways. And then there's thousands that argue it. With the internet now, we see it all.
Yes, we do.
We're seeing more.
What seems to be is to whom it seems to be. So we get to decide for ourselves. And for me, it doesn't matter at all. So I'm looking for my malleability, is that a word? More malleable in my perspectives and perceptions and so forth. And I don't need to be right about anything.
So
I like to be happy.
So you're softening your mental constructs
Totally.
and you're softening the mind. What does that look like and feel like in your life as you've let go of your attachments or opinions to such loyalty of them?
The beautiful part of it for me is I'm watching to see if I have triggers from an experience or from a circumstance that I find myself in. And I really could say 99.99% triggerless. I'm just not getting triggered. Circumstances, sure, they're there, yet they don't determine how I feel, regardless of what it is that I'm going through. I have a choice. We all have choices. We don't realize it, maybe. Maybe you guys all do. I didn't realize it for quite a while, that I'm always choosing something. And I can choose how I want to feel, regardless of what it appears to be.
What we choose makes it more real.
Yeah.
Because we continue to play that tape or that program or feed that wolf.
Yes, we do.
If you like
There's
the
a good
Cherokee
question. Which
parable.
wolf are you feeding?
Yeah,
that's a great question.
Remember that Cherokee parable, folks? I'm sure everybody's heard that. But so, Joel, what does that look like in your life as you've tamed your overactive brain, calmed your perhaps pattern or habit or learning in life that might have taught you to be a very fast responder or judge something, and then you whatever you would hear, you would have a judgment and then respond back. But if you've tamed your mind and you're not triggering,
right,
like you used to, and you've, for the most part, have resolved that. You've been working with this. You've really taken your path of awareness and conscious awareness in your life for many years, and I've watched you really expand that the last couple of years. But what does this feel like to be in your body without an overactive brain? What benefits are there for you?
It's very peaceful. I'm in a very peaceful state most of the time. I'm in a joyful state most of the time. And there really is when we go beyond thinking, when we just quiet ourselves and go to space and go to the silence, there's just nothing that can be said about silence. It's just It is.
So there's nothing.
So I'll go quiet now. We'll have a radio show with silence because it'll be beautiful.
So while there's nothing to say about silence,
Right.
I'm going to ask you to talk about silence
that's
for
a
a
good
minute
one.
here, because,
I don't know how to.
well,
Yeah.
when I'm in the silence, and then you can have share with the listeners what that means for you. But I mean, does anything come to mind to explain
When
that
I go
right
into
now with
silence?
words while you're in silence? What's that doing for you? What's that giving you? What experience are you having? Wow, you look like a marble statue. You're not even moving or breathing.
No, there's boy, what's happening when there's nothing happening?
You're so good. Okay. I'm just going to take a guess
please,
here.
okay.
I'm going to take a guess here. When there's nothing happening, and so you should see him, listeners. This is
We
great.
need a camera.
He turned into a marble statue. I thought he wasn't breathing, but then I noticed he was.
Yeah.
He goes into silence so quickly that there's not even a thought to describe silence. But what I experience from him in this space, and what I experience for myself when I go to that ever
Jami will explain
ready,
silence
I'm
to you
going to
guys.
explain silence because I'm never at a loss for words, okay? But when I'm in the silence, I love to say goodbye to the words. They're not necessary, but we're on a radio show. We really should say something.
I know.
So
I love it. 30 minutes of
silence
nothing.
for me, when my mind is silent, my judgments, praise God. You know what? If my judgments are silent,
Yeah.
my mind is silent.
Yeah.
So in taming my judgments or my righteous, right, wrong opinions or my habits of, I got to respond to this because I either agree or I don't, and I need my opinion forced out onto the world because I must be seen, I must be validated, I must share, I must contribute. There's some awful habits I've had, and I've noticed people around me have, that's really ineffective for being present for people, because everybody's so busy in those situations coming up with whether they agree, and then they're going to like you, or they're going to tell you, project their story on your story, or challenge you on your belief because they're going to pounce on you for something that they believe or they're thinking they hear you believing. And then people are like pit bulls with socks in their mouth. They won't let go, They just, and it doesn't take it anywhere.
No.
To the heart. It just takes and divides it in the head, and sometimes it feels like you're on a witness stand. You got your friend who's an attorney that's just grilling you all over, or someone you wish would be quiet won't stop. And there's not a heart connection because people are trying to be right or prove something or meet an agenda, and it's really terrible listening skills. I think in our Western world, I didn't really
I'd say
get
it's
that.
not listening at all.
I didn't get listening skills. I got defending skills
Yeah.
from all the criticism at me or the judgments. And so I played back into it. And I'm not proud of that, but I've worked to really heal a lot of that.
Yes, you have.
And when I can go to that space of healing myself with judgments about another or myself or right, wrong thinking, using meditation and enhancing my own ability for self-realization of my own state of awareness, I am perfect and just fine no matter what's going on around me. That when I enter that space of awareness for myself, praise God, because of meditation and consciousness study techniques and the kind of work that we're doing, many of us on our evolutionary journey, silencing, quieting or calming down and turning the rheostat down on the monkey mind or the rheostat of chatter in the head, and really dissolving, getting those things more congruent to come to a space of quiet. To me, that is bowing to and feeling the presence. There's a state of grace that comes with the presence where I am here, awake, alert, ready, quiet. There's nothing I need to do, nothing I need to be. But when something comes across my radar that I choose to respond to, some of it is just passing information from what other people are saying or reactions or noise around the house or noise from friends in drama or whatever it is. But when there's something there I want to respond to, I can be present and say what can be really effective or be my truth within that. But I don't have to let in all of it that's not. And
Exactly.
I don't have to jack up my mind, jack up my opinions, and try to be right or contribute my stuff to their stuff when maybe they don't even really want it. Is it a conversation honestly between two hearts with people? or is it enthusiasms of the head yakking off? And I've been her. I know that place. I have a lot of friends that still love that place, and sometimes I get excited and I go play in my head and have fun talking, but I catch myself when I go more than about 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, breathe. Come on back,
Breathe.
Jamie.
Well, that's
be
one of the
excited.
keys
Come back.
right there.
Anchor it and be present. And then just go to essence of what I'm saying so I don't leak all my energy all out or throw it all on someone else who really didn't need all that. But become more aware of, do I really want to play in a litany, a symphony of words? Or is it time now to just be in that beautiful quiet space? Or is it my heart talking or my head talking? And that's been a journey for me this year, to really watch, how am I present? How am I listening? How am I showing up? How am I responding? What choice am I making? How am I deciding to be in this situation, even though someone else is dramatic? Do I feel yucky in my tummy because I'm hooking, or I allowed them to hook me because I wasn't comfortable and I was nervous and I didn't know how to hold my space while they were uncomfortable? You know, there's a lot that I've been working with myself, and I'm getting better at it. Life's getting much more fun.
So for you, when you want to go to silence, because silence, our presence is always there. It can be in the background, but it can also be in the foreground. Even though we're having a conversation right now, we can be very present with this conversation. What do you do for yourself to get into silence, just to go still, to be still? Are there techniques that you share with us, or?
I'd be happy to share that, and then I'd love to hear yours.
All right.
And listeners, it's always good to ponder for yourself here too. I have many things that I do. Sometimes if there's a lot going on in my head, because there's been a lot of business, a lot going on, or voices from other people's drama where I got kind of pulled in because I care about them, and there's just stuff that's busy in my head. It's awfully hard just to sit down and go, okay, quiet, you know. I can sometimes.
Yes, you can. I know.
But tonight was a great example of that. Before you came over, there was a lot of busyness that was going on for about 4 hours today, and it was a fun, enthusiastic pace. And there were many times where I just could go quiet within that to get focused, and then for the next project that was busy. And anyway, long story short, I ended up taking a brisk 20-minute walk, swinging my arms, and it was really windy, so I had to really push myself out into the walk. And breathing, you know, that deep breathing and arm moving, and I physically moved the busyness. And then I came back and I had a quiet dinner by candlelight in a quiet room, listening to the rain on the sky roof there. And I just really enjoyed the food, the quiet, the candlelight. You were standing. I'm so sorry. You were standing at the door for 10 minutes. You were knocking, and I didn't hear you with the rain. I was just blissed in my quiet.
Yeah, good.
So that was kind of how, like 0 to 60. That was how I go 60 to 0. But oftentimes I will, just like a car in overdrive, go from fourth to third to second. I'll take my steps naturally. I'm learning to balance my time better. And sometimes no matter how busy it is, it's like I just go, hey, that is enough. And I will use a technique called Consciousness Kriya, which is a Kriya that I learned recently. It's a deep meditation technique for focusing my mind. And it involves breath work and some guided imagery. And other times, all I feel like doing is I just sit right down no matter what's going on around me. And I sit in kind of a yoga position, and I just take some breaths. I focus on my belly. I breathe, because you know what? You cannot be in your belly and your head at the same time. And I get that air in deep, and I breathe it through my body. And then I pull up light, grounding from the earth. And I breathe in light from the heavens through my crown, and I run the energy, and I let it all come and meet in the heart. And I just enter a state of quiet that just comes from breathing, and I see breath as light. And I feel it as light. So, how about you?
The most effective way for me is to sit and to give my thoughts away. I just give them away. And then I definitely contemplate on I am without adding anything past I am. I oftentimes, even after I get to that, because there's a subtle difference between I in energy and I am. And certainly a difference between I am this, whatever I might claim myself to be, but just going to I am and just certainly breathing. Breathing is really important for me to get very, very quiet. But it's really effective just to give my thoughts away. Absolutely give them away. You're gone, and I just stay with I am, or I'll go more subtle and go I. And then I often ask, and what's beyond I?
Yeah.
And wait for something. And what's beyond that? And what's beyond that?
And by waiting, you mean an experience.
Yeah.
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 Beautiful.
So hopefully if you guys have the monkey mind that's still chattering away, maybe what we've shared, how we reach our silence and how we reach our essence and our presence, that you can try these on for yourself and see which one or any of them, or your own, maybe you'll just gather your own.
There's infinite. And
exactly.
I forgot to mention one of the most powerful for me is I am a fan of prayer. I do like to give things to Creator. I like to give things to the light. I like to give things up to the altar of heaven. I give things to the angels. I don't have one particular thing I do, but I will communicate what's on my heart to get it out and surrender that to the love of Creator, to the healing of the angels, to the healing of the light. I will, because who am I to hold that and think that it's my responsibility to fix something that's way beyond anything I can do? It's my job to call myself present to the presence that takes care of and loves all. And so I'll go to that space with my prayer. It may be very short and quiet, or it might just be a verbal acknowledgement, or I might just have a real active chat. But I will give that away as my first step, and then it takes it off my heart or off my job to carry it and be responsible for it, that somehow I might think. And that helps me quiet also. There's so many beautiful ways.
Yeah. And you, in this conversation, there's a lot of things that opened up that we might want to revisit and consider and talk about in another show.
There are, because I think we both agree for 2017 we've really deepened our state of awareness and our commitment to living as self-realization and what that really means. The other thing that I have really committed to, and as far as I'm concerned, this is 2017. This is the year where we no longer think about the life that we want, but we now live the life that we want.
Perfect.
There's no longer that duality and that split, and it's just not necessary. What I want needs to be what we have. What we all want, it's time now to have it. The energies are supporting us, for all of you that study the energies and things. The questing after, the seeking, the longing for, guess what? It can be ours. And this is time now to understand just how we can accept that. Stop trying to figure out the marketing plan and get everything to be perfect, and take that first step. And there's some ways that we can do that, and that's going to be our next show. And I am looking forward to that one.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because that ignites a lot of things in me, how we're going to incorporate, instead of the wanting, the realization that we have. And we're living from that.
And becoming everything we want right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
Because it's all available right now.
So join us for the next show. Listeners, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks so much, yeah. Fun to do this again, Jamie.
It feels good, and it's nice to share. It's a good way to corral the loose cats of what we're doing and bring it forward in a way that can hopefully serve others. Listeners, I hope this is helpful. Joel, it's always a delight talking with you, working with you, meditating with you, creating with you.
Yeah, I can't ask for a better partner. Thanks.
We are indeed creative partners, and we are...
Two People Evolving. I'm Joel.
I'm Jamie.
Until next time.